welcome to the stage your hosts for this evening from ABC Brisbane Breakfast, Loretta Ryan and Craig Zonka.
Thank you, everyone, and good evening and welcome tonight. I'm Loretta Ryan.
And I'm Craig Zonka from 612 ABC Radio Brisbane. This is one of our favourite nights of the year. It's our real pleasure to be here as your MCs this evening.
Firstly, we would like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this event is taking place. And we would also like to pay our respects to their elders past and present.
You know it's a good night because there's 3 pages of acknowledgements here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get through these as well. The Honourable David Crisafulli, the Premier and Minister for Veterans. Also from Cabinet, the Honourable Tim Nichols, the Minister for Health and Ambulance Services. Federal Members of Parliament, including the Honourable Patrick Gorman MP, the Assistant Minister to the Prime Minister, Assistant Minister for the Public Service and Assistant Minister for Employment. Renee Coffey, the Federal Member for Griffith, who is here, and other Queensland MPs, I should mention, are Dr Christian Rowan, the Assistant Minister to the Premier on Matters of State and New Citizens, Mr Lance McCallum, MP, the Member for Bundamba, Dr Barbara O'Shea, MP, the Member for South Brisbane, Ms Jess Pugh, MP, the Member for Mount Ommaney. Also mayors and councillors, including Councillor Teresa Harding, the Mayor of the Ipswich City Council, Councillor Suzette Beresford, the Mayor of the Paroo Shire Council, and Councillor Nick Marshall, OAM, of the Gold Coast City Council. Joining them are Directors General and Commissioners, Ms Natalie Wild, the Director General of the Department of Women, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships and Multiculturalism, Commissioner Steve Goldchesky, the Commissioner of the Queensland Police Service, and Commissioner Paul Stewart, the Commissioner of Queensland Corrective Services. Along with the National Australia Day Council, including its Chief Executive Officer, Mr Mark Fraser, AO, CBO. Then we have our 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year nominees. They deserve a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our Queensland Australian of the Year alumni, sponsors, award selection panel, and of course you all here as distinguished guests this evening.
That was a long list,
It was a long list,
Thank you and
it?
good night.
I did say 3 pages.
Okay, welcome to all the nominees and just as importantly, your family, your friends and guests. And I'm sure we'll all be inspired by your commitment and your achievement for others.
Whether you're here in the room with us or watching online at australianoftheyear.org.au, thank you very much for being a part of tonight. It's a great celebration of some incredible people. And do, of course, show your support on social media. If it's not on the grid, it doesn't happen. You can use the hashtag #OzOfTheYear.
Yeah, so take all your photos that you can and make sure you put it up there. All around the country over these past couple of weeks, each state and territory has their own Australian of the Year Awards event to recognise and celebrate extraordinary achievement. And tonight we will hear real stories of courage, compassion, resilience and hope, and the stories of often everyday Australians who have a passion for making a difference.
I would now like to invite Kate Jamieson to the stage to perform the national anthem. Kate's a country singer, born and bred in rural Queensland. She was a 2025 Toyota Star Maker Grand Finalist, and you might have also seen her as a proud contestant on The Voice this year. If you can, please stand if you're able for the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant southern cross, we toil with heart with the vase, renowned of all the lands, for those who've come across the sea. We've boundless plains to share. In courage let us all combine and pass Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
Thank you very much, Kate. Just beautiful. Now, I'm pleased to say that this year, once again, thousands of nominations were received from the public, nominating someone who inspires them.
After a very difficult shortlisting process, the 18 incredible nominees here tonight were selected by a diverse selection panel of people from right across the state. You'll hear and see all their stories tonight, with one recipient being announced in each of the 4 categories: Australia's Local Hero, Young Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, and Australian of the Year.
Tonight, the recipients of each category will be announced and then join the other state and territory recipients at the National Awards in Canberra, where the Prime Minister reveals who takes out the National Award, live on the ABC on the eve of Australia Day.
Our nominees representing Queensland this year, they are a true inspiration. We thank them for their contribution and excellence to their field of endeavour. So let's give all the nominees this year another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I now have the pleasure of inviting the Honourable David Crisafulli, MP, Premier of Queensland and Minister for Veterans, to the stage to deliver the opening address. Please make him welcome.
Loretta, thank you very much. To you, Craig, it's great to have both of you again. Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, tonight's a really significant night, and it's one that you all should collectively be so proud to be here. I spent some time having a look at the list of the nominees, and to all of you who have been nominated, you should feel really proud of the contribution you've made. Whether it's in health or volunteering, sport, community groups, you've made a difference. And across all of those different categories, whether you're young or you're old or somewhere in between, you need to know that it's people like you that hold this state together. It's people like you who step up and make others feel part of something really, really special. And I know many of you have dedicated your life to your cause, and whether you win tonight or whether you don't, you need to know you've made the state a better place for your contribution. Now, I don't want to put too much pressure on the winners, but I do want to reflect. State of origin, men and women's NRL, AFL. We do want to see a national award coming back to Queensland, if you can, please. If you can't, we'll still be real proud of you for the effort that you've done. Thanks very much to everyone, to all the nominees and everyone who's supported them on their journey. It's great, and I'm damn proud to be a Queenslander. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Premier. There's always more room in the trophy cabinet, isn't there? That's for sure. This evening we are so privileged to be joined by several remarkable Queenslanders, including many of our esteemed awards alumni. Could I ask for you in the room, as your name is mentioned, would you please stand if you're able to be recognised by everyone else here tonight? We'll start with Mr. Jim Bellos, OAM, APM.
Elijah Bowl, OAM.
Daniel Clark.
Lloyd and Sue Clark, OAM.
Dr. Colin Dillon, AM, APM.
Dr. Dimity Dornan, AO.
Mr. Peter Dornan, AM.
Mr. Andy Gooley.
Ms. Yasmin Khan.
Ms. Sana Mamo.
Dr. Bob McGregor.
Mr. Taj Pabari.
Ms. Bronwyn Sheehan, OAM.
Mr. Jeffrey Smith.
And Dr. Katrina Ruck. How good to have so many of you in the room tonight and to be here and share your stories once more with this year's recipients. It is a true pleasure to have you in the room this evening. Well,
now it's time.
Let's get into it, Loretta.
Our first Australian of the Year award in Queensland in the category of Local Hero, recognising those who make a significant contribution in their local community. So first, let's learn some more about this category, supported by the Department of Home Affairs.
Our local heroes are everyday Australians doing amazing things in their local communities. They represent what's great about communities. They keep their communities strong and they are the fabric of our society.
It's not easy to just sit around and talk about the problems. I urge everyone, be kind and respectful. You too can be part of the change of the solution.
They'll tell you when we open our doors to our neighbors, we open our hearts and we give ourselves the chance to rejoice with others, to learn from them.
Hey, it's Tony Burke, the Minister for Home Affairs. I just want to tell you why it's so important that we sponsor the Local Heroes Award. This award, people don't compete for it. People just do what they do. And I love when we recognise people who never sought recognition. There are people who are local heroes because they just very humbly go out and do jobs every day that show leadership through their work. There are people who are local heroes because they stand up for people who, when no one else is standing up for them. There are people who are local heroes because in a moment of crisis, they just step up without thinking about themselves and just helping others. But most importantly, everybody being awarded today did it because of their love of their community, love of their country, love of the people you are helping. And that is worthy of recognition.
The award not only acknowledges work done so far, but gives encouragement to continue, and that's important.
Rural people are worth fighting for because they get up and they show up in fire and flood and droughts and plagues and pandemics, and they put food on the nation's table. So the least we can do as a nation is make sure that they're getting support when they look for it.
Creating a home in Australia is not always easy. It's about providing opportunities, stability and hope to people who, just like us, just want a chance to make something of their lives.
To congratulate our 2026 Local Hero nominees tonight, I'd like to invite Queensland's 2013 Local Hero, Jim Bellos, to the stage to present the certificates to our nominees. Unfortunately, our 2025 Local Hero for Queensland, Claire Smith, could not be here this evening, but please make Jim welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, the nominees for the 2026 Local Hero in Queensland are...
Ross Blanche. Ross Blanche has helped many farmers in need of mental health support. With 3 decades of experience as a volunteer for Lifeline, Ross used his knowledge, skill and experience as a farmer himself to launch the Farmer to Lifeline Farmer Service. Ross connects with farmers by speaking the farmer language, giving them access to someone who understands what they're going through. Ian Gay. Ian Gay has spent 20 years bringing people together to enjoy the simple pleasure of going surfing and having a day at the beach. As a long-time volunteer with the Disabled Surfers Association Gold Coast, Ian has made it possible for many people living with disability to enjoy the surf, often for the first time, in a safe, fully supported environment. Vanessa Seekey and Arthur Liberty Seekey. Husband and wife, Vanessa and Arthur Liberty Seekey, have undertaken a remarkable historical project to document, preserve and memorialise the World War II service of Defence members, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who were stationed at Horn Island in the Torres Strait. Their work has made a vast contribution to both military history and recognition for veterans in the local community. Helen Youngberry. Helen Youngberry has dedicated 10 years to supporting the homeless and people in need in the Ipswich region. The charity she co-founded, Goodness Street Life, delivers a range of vital services, including emergency accommodation. Through her tireless networking, fundraising and campaigning, Helen is focused on making sure vulnerable people in her community are not left behind.
Queenslanders. So please join me in welcoming each one as they get their certificates. Firstly, Ross Blanche.
Ian Gay.
Liberty Seekey and Vanessa Seekey, OAM.
And Helen Youngberry.
Thank you to our local hero nominees. We are incredibly fortunate to have individuals like you in our community making a meaningful difference through your outstanding contributions. And yeah, thank you, Jim, too.
I'd now like to invite the Premier to the stage to announce the 2026 Local Hero for Queensland.
Thank you very much, Craig. The 2026 Local Hero for Queensland is Ian Gay.
Congratulations, Ian. How does the term local hero sit with you?
Speechless.
Speechless.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel when you know that someone has recognised you, seen the work you do and just wanted you to be, rewarded or acknowledged?
It's really touching, but this award goes out equally to every single one of the people here tonight, but also all the volunteers who make it possible on the Gold Coast to do what we do.
What's the biggest change you'd like to see happen through your work?
I'd actually like to see this influence more people just to volunteer. Just give a little bit of your time to do something good for the community and make a change.
Well, I think I heard 20 years you'd been volunteering. What was it that made you start?
I think I came from a family who've always been involved in community work. My sister's in Brownies and Girl Guides, parents with local clubs. Just inspired by them and looking for something to do that was just going to give back as much as I've seen them give back.
Well, you are our local hero, Ian Gay. Congratulations, and now you can relax. Thank you.
How fantastic. What an amazing start, ladies and gentlemen. How about these stories that you're hearing tonight? Let's move to the Young Australian of the Year category, supported by the Australian Government Office for Youth. Now, this award, it was introduced in 1979 and recognises inspiring young Aussies aged between 16 and 30 who've already accomplished great things. So let's hear more about the Young Australian of the Year category.
When you look at the Young Australians of the Year, we're all reminded that our future is in really good hands.
I've been given the opportunity in such a beautiful country to be myself, and for me the most important thing is to help the next generation and also inspire them to be themselves and follow their dreams.
We have the power to shape the future and make Australia a place where we're all proud, where we all belong, and where we stand united.
I'm proud to congratulate our exceptional State and Territory Young Australian of the Year finalists for 2026. As Minister for Youth, I'm honoured to support and sponsor the Young Australian of the Year category in these national awards, where the wonderful accomplishments of our young people are in the spotlight. You are inspiring examples of dedication to making positive change, instilling hope for a better and brighter future. You clearly show that young people have so much to offer. Our young finalists are an inspiration to all Australians, and I hope others will see your hard work and choose to become more actively involved in their own communities too. I'm excited to see what's next for these incredible finalists, your contributions to our future, and your influence as amazing role models. I wish you nothing but success.
The Young Australians of the Year have a really impressive energy and a drive to make Australia a better place.
It is still crazy to me that I've done what I have in sport, and I want young kids to know that I was once in the same position that they are now, hoping and dreaming of one day of doing something big. I want to have an impact on people's lives by encouraging them to push hard and go after their dreams and what they're passionate about.
Representation matters. When kids, especially Indigenous kids, see someone like me in this position, it tells them that they belong.
Talented young individuals. I would now like to invite the 2025 Young Australian of the Year, Dr. Katrina Ruck, to the stage to present the certificates to Queensland's 2026 Young Australian of the Year nominees.
And now the 2026 Young Australian of the Year in Queensland nominees are...
Jarree Branfield Bradshaw. Jarree Branfield Bradshaw is making a big difference to the lives of young people in his local community of Cunnamulla. The neighbourhood centre he opened for young people offers a safe space where they can find emotional support, food and guidance in learning life skills. Almost every young person in town has attended the centre since it opened 2 years ago. Keturah Halliday. Keturah Halliday's compassion, determination and innovative thinking underpin her work to combat educational inequality in developing nations. She launched the 8x8 to Educate program, which raises funds to help girls in Mozambique and Tanzania attend school. Locally, Keturah is an active member of the Lions Club, mentoring young people and inspiring them to bring about positive change. Kurt Jones. Kurt Jones took what began as a school project and turned it into a national movement for youth-led environmental conservation. The founder of Coexist Australia, Kurt has pioneered a model that now operates in 6 states, connecting young people so they can undertake conservation activities such as tree planting and environmental cleanups, inspiring young adults to explore, connect and protect. Thomas Peary. Thomas Peary, better known as 10 Cent Tom, has turned a pocket money earning scheme into a thriving social enterprise that uses money collected from recyclable containers to fund employment opportunities for people living with disabilities. Tom's drive, humour and infectious enthusiasm have made him a local legend among the many businesses and households that support him.
So let's show our appreciation as they receive their certificates. Firstly, Jarib Brandfield Bradshaw.
Katura Halliday.
Kurt Jones.
And Thomas Peary.
Thank you, Katrina. And thank you to our Young Australian of the Year nominees.
Wow.
And witnessing the remarkable impact our young people are making in their own unique and inspiring way is truly uplifting.
Isn't it fantastic? I'm sure we all agree that each of them has a pretty extraordinary future ahead. Can't wait to see what comes next on their journeys. I'd now like to invite the Premier back to the stage to announce the 2026 Young Australian of the Year for Queensland.
Thank you, Craig. The 2026 Young Australian of the Year for Queensland is Jarib Brandfield Bradshaw.
Keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen. He's almost here to the stage. Jarib, yeah, how are you feeling right now? Take us inside your mind.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's probably the best response that I think I've had up on this stage. Okay, so Cunnamulla, that's your hometown.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the work you do and why you started it.
So I'm a youth support officer, and honestly, the reason I started were the two people back there, Rachel Johnson and Tony Kosh. I was in the shearing sheds, and Rachel gave me a call and said, "I want you to do this job," and I said, "No, I'm 19. I can't work with kids," and she said, "Just give it a go," and I fell in love with the job after a week. So
after a week,
yeah,
was that quick?
Yeah.
What was it about the job that made you go, "This is for me"?
Working with the young people that I grew up with. So when I was this big, they were this big.
Yeah.
And they inspire me every single day.
It's an incredible, pretty incredible part of Queensland. As this sinks in, you said overwhelmed before. As you think about that a bit more and the lives that you've helped change, what else comes to mind for you?
Every single one of them. Their stories are difficult and hard to digest, but every single one of them are amazing young people, and they are not broken, they are becoming, and they just need someone to believe in them and hold space for them and hold the door open
as the people sitting at that table over there held the door open for me.
They are not broken, they are becoming. What a phrase, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please put your hands together for your Young Australian of the Year for Queensland, Drew Bradfield Bradshaw. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Well done. Congratulations. Now, the Department of Health, Disability and Ageing is the category partner for our next award, the Senior Australian of the Year. This award celebrates Australians aged 65 years and over who continue to achieve and make a difference. Let's hear more about our Senior Australian of the Year category.
The Senior Australian of the Year award is an award that really carries a lot of respect because it's a reflection of many decades of work by the recipient.
Here in Australia, we are fortunate to be the home of the oldest continuing surviving cultures in the world. This is something we should be proud of and we should celebrate.
There is no greater gift to our nation and our humanity than saving lives. To make members of our community part of the solution.
Hi, I'm Sam Ray, the Federal Minister for Aged Care and Seniors. It's a genuine pleasure to congratulate you, our 2026 State and Territory finalists for Senior Australian of the Year. This is a moment of great pride. Your dedication to enriching our nation and inspiring others has been moving to witness in my time as Minister for Seniors. Your innovation, leadership and service to our community means so much to so many, and these awards give us all an opportunity to reflect on and honour your incredible contributions. The Albanese Government is proud to sponsor these awards, to recognise and celebrate the older Australians who go above and beyond. Congratulations on your nominations, and I wish you all the very best for the awards.
The Senior Australians of the Year are inspirational not only to other senior Australians but to all Australians, and particularly to the younger generations coming through.
We need equal rights, including fundings, services and resources, so we can work side by side and support each other. And together we can share new ideas to heal our nation. Let us stand up and work together.
Everyone who makes the wheelchairs is a volunteer. A child with a disability receives a new life by getting off the ground, having dignity as well as mobility.
All such incredible people, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Bronwyn Herbert, the 2025 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year, wasn't able to join us tonight, but I'm told he's watching online, so I've got a request for you. Just turn around behind you to that camera down the back. Give Bronwyn a wave if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Bronwyn. G'day, Bronwyn. So, to represent this category, I would like to invite Dr. Colin Dillon, AM APM, the 2022 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year, on stage to present the certificates to this year's nominees. Please make Cole welcome, won't you?
And so, the nominees for the 2026 Senior Australian of the Year in Queensland are...
Gerald Gerard. Gerald Gerard is dedicated to giving Australian military and first responder personnel the help they need to address PTSD and mental health issues. He co-founded the 4 Aussie Heroes Foundation, which hosts residential courses to help participants on their path to recovery. He also raised more than $7 million to build a permanent rural retreat where people can access the help they need. Cheryl Harris. The contribution that volunteers make to the Sunshine Coast community owes much to the dedication and enthusiasm of Cheryl Harris. Her far-sighted advocacy as CEO of Volunteering Sunshine Coast has seen the number of volunteers in the region grow, providing vital support across a wide range of activities, from charity work to disaster relief. Habib Mohammed Jamal. Habib Mohammed Jamal's service to Queensland is focused on breaking down barriers between social, ethnic and religious groups to promote multicultural harmony. He's advocated tirelessly on behalf of the Muslim community in Queensland while always promoting dialogue and cooperation between diverse groups. Through his work, he inspires others in the community to help vulnerable Australians wherever they may be. Karen Walsh. Karen Walsh's life mission has been to address inequality and disadvantage in society, ensuring everybody has equal access to housing, healthcare and a safe environment. As CEO of Micah Projects, she's delivered many vital services to assist people facing homelessness and related social issues. Throughout, she's continued to campaign on behalf of vulnerable Queenslanders for a more just society.
Remarkable Queenslanders. So let's acknowledge their achievements as they come up to receive their certificates.
Gerald Garrard.
Cheryl Harris, OAM.
Habib Jamal.
And Karen Walsh, AM.
Thank you to our nominees, and thank you, Colin. Let's show our appreciation. Keep that round of applause going, won't you, ladies and gentlemen? In recognition of the outstanding contributions of our 2026 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year nominees. Premier, could you please join us back on stage to make the announcement of this year's recipient?
The 2026 Senior Australian of the Year for Queensland is Cheryl Harris.
Cheryl, I think I heard the Premier there say, enjoy this moment. Can you put into words what you're feeling now?
To be honest, I really didn't expect it. Sorry, I'm so overwhelmed. There's such an amazing group of people here. I would just like to pay my respects to our elders past, present and emerging on the land in which we stand. And I would also like to say to everybody here this evening who's received a nomination. You're all amazing people, and what you do, I'm in awe of what everyone does. And I would just like to say congratulations to each one of you, and to our sponsors and to the Queensland Government for what they've done. Thank you very much. All our dignitaries, I can't name you all, I'm sorry.
We've got a list over there. You talk about you're inspired by others, we're inspired by you, but what was it that made you begin the work that you when you started?
When I was young, my mum instilled in us that if you can help others in life, that's exactly what you do. And I'm just grateful that I was taught that. So to me, volunteering is a passion. Whatever I do, it's a passion. And I'm extremely grateful. I'm very blessed.
And have you seen the difference that you've made to people's lives?
I never think of it like that, to be honest with you. I never think that I make a difference, although I always say to people, every person, and that includes everyone in the room tonight, just one thing that you do per day can make a difference in somebody's life. And that might just be that you give them a smile when you're walking down the road, or you're dropping into a neighbour and taking a cup of tea or a meal. It doesn't have to be anything large.
But it really makes a difference.
It does make
Our Senior Australian of the Year, everyone, Cheryl Harris. Thank you, Cheryl.
How fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. And these stories do leave you in awe, wanting to walk away and change the world tomorrow, and let's hope that you can do so. Okay, we're on to our final category of the evening. It is, of course, the Australian of the Year. This celebrates the achievements and contributions of eminent Australians who are role models for us all. In our state and nationally, we've had some dynamic past recipients from such different sectors and backgrounds. Let's remind ourselves of some of them.
I think we can all really aspire to be like the Australians of the Year. The Australians of the Year really help to shape our nation as we move into the future, which is why we should be so grateful for their ongoing work.
We have to have greater representation of people with a disability absolutely everywhere. In our boardrooms, in our parliaments, in our mainstream schools, on our dating apps, on our sporting fields, in our universities, absolutely everywhere.
If I can make a difference to someone else's life, if they can draw some strength by hearing what I say and knowing that I'm speaking on their behalf, it gives me a lot of hope.
There's a temptation to take the easy route. I think that life will be better if we mould it to make it as comfortable as possible. Time is short, get amongst it and take your kids with you.
When you look back at the amazing list of Australians of the Year over the last 60 plus years, it's an extraordinary group of people. Musicians, athletes, scientists, Aboriginal leaders, advocates, environmentalists, rescuers. It's an amazing list of incredible Australians.
Our mission is 0 deaths from melanoma. To reach it, in addition to prevention, we need a targeted screening program and greater investment in research. This must be a national health priority.
Beyond melanoma and into the broader cancer field, more courage is needed to push treatment boundaries backed by science for the benefit of all cancer patients.
If people truly understood the challenges we face, they'd join the fight with me. And you have. Together, we have built a movement.
Now, to congratulate our 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year nominees, I would like to invite Queensland's 2025 Australian of the Year, Jeffrey Smith, to the stage to present the certificates to our nominees.
And the nominees for the 2026 Australian of the Year in Queensland are...
Nicole Dyson. A former teacher, Nicole Dyson founded national education provider Future Anything to connect learning with real life and teach young people the skills they need to become the change makers of tomorrow. This success has seen hundreds of schools take part around Australia, helping to launch many new micro-businesses and social enterprises that address real-world issues. Mark Forbes and Gail Forbes. The dedicated work of Mark and Gail Forbes has made a huge impact in southeast Queensland, providing life-saving support to families and individuals affected by eating disorders. Their initiative and drive were instrumental in creating the Wanda Nerida Residential Recovery Centre for Eating Disorders, where people can access treatment and counselling in a supportive environment. Dr. Rolf Gomes. Many Australians living in remote communities now have access to advanced diagnostic services thanks to the determination and vision of Dr. Rolf Gomes. Rolf's Heart of Australia program delivers mobile heart trucks to rural towns across Australia. The trucks provide vital specialist clinical services for patients without them having to travel long distances to get the treatment they need. Distinguished Professor Ben Matthews. Distinguished Professor Ben Matthews led the research team behind the groundbreaking Australian child maltreatment study in 2023 that helped to identify the extent and consequences of child neglect and abuse in Australia. His influential work continues to inform and guide responses to child neglect and abuse, both in Australia and overseas.
So now let's meet them as they receive their certificates. Nicole Dyson.
Mark and Gail Forbes.
Dr. Rolf Gomes.
And Distinguished Professor Ben Matthews.
And once again, yes, keep that applause going to celebrate the remarkable achievements of the 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year nominees. And again, thank you to Jeffrey Smith as well.
We'd now like to invite the Premier to join us one last time this evening to announce the 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year.
The 2026 Australian of the Year for Queensland is Dr. Rolf Gomes.
Dr. Gomes, what's running through your head right now, our Queensland Australian of the Year for 2026?
It's been quite a journey the last decade when I first met you, Craig.
That's right.
And, things like this don't happen overnight. They happen with a lot of support, firstly from my wife, Kylie, and all the people who have gotten behind this program to bring us to this point in time. You know, we're a big country, and with that comes big challenges. But I've always thought, you know, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And as country people, they're fairly straight-shooting people. You know, they tell you how it is, and they say they love the fact that there's a problem there and someone did something about it. And so it's been great to be able to make such a difference.
I remember meeting you 2014, your first Heart of Australia truck in Toowoomba. That motivation to get it started, you know, from what I remember, that inspiration and catalyst, you know, started many years prior. What was it, Rolf?
Well, as a junior doctor, they send you out in the bush, and I just thought at the coalface, I love the country people, I love the wide open spaces, and I just thought, you know, we can do a bit better here in terms of getting access to healthcare for people out in the country, and just giving them an equal chance of having a long and healthy life. And if this could make a difference and save one life, that would be enough, but it's fantastic to see it grow into what it has.
Well, okay, share that story. One truck was the beginning. What are you up to now, Rolf?
Well, by 2027, we'll have 11 trucks across the entire country, which is...
Yeah.
It's good to see it become the heart of Australia.
So, 11 trucks by 2027. How many people have come through the doors of those trucks over the years?
Well, we've seen over 20,000 patients in the last 10 years. When we look back at all the critical presentations, there'd be somewhere between 800 and 900 who are possibly very lucky to be alive because they've turned up to their appointment, walked up those stairs, and seen a doctor, had the test they needed.
So not just life-changing, this has been life-saving.
Well, I suppose, yes, that would be true.
You need to take the credit, Rolf Gomes. So humble in nature. You mentioned your family who are seated at this table, who have probably had, you know, many nights when you've been away, out bush. What do you say about making it worth it, Rolf Gomes, and the message you want to give to your kids?
Well, you know, I've been lucky to have my curiosity lead me down this path. And I think if you have an inquiring mind and you have a little bit of courage and you see a problem, and, you know, there are a lot of problems in the world, but nothing's going to change unless you do something about it. So just to be able to take that first step, and, you know, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and you never know where things will end up.
You've hard fought to get to this stage for Heart of Australia. Using this platform, what's it going to mean for your work?
Well, I think for us, especially as we get out into those more remote places across the country, as we expand nationally, to just get people to make their health a priority, where previously it might have been a couple of days to go catch a plane into the city to see a doctor. If a truck rolls into town and there's an opportunity to go up there, get tested, get checked out, and it ends up saving your life, you should take that opportunity.
Yeah, you've been going to where the big burly blokes of Western Queensland are. You've been saving their lives, Rolf Gomes. It is a remarkable story over the past 11 years of what you have built. Congratulations on being the 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year, Dr. Rolf Gomes.
Thank you.
What a wonderful night, recognising our extraordinary Queenslanders. So what's next for our 4 recipients? Well, they now become nominees, of course, for the National Award, along with all the other state and territory recipients. And don't worry about the pressure the Premier has put on you. Please welcome now to the stage the Assistant Minister to the Prime Minister, Assistant Minister for the Public Service and Assistant Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations, the Honourable Patrick Gorman MP.
Thank you, Craig and Loretta. If I can also acknowledge the Premier, David Crisafulli, MP, both Premier and Minister for Veterans. If I can acknowledge all of his team and all of the state members of Parliament who are here. If equally I can acknowledge my federal colleague Renee Coffey, not only member for Griffith but a former nominee for these awards many years ago. And if I can acknowledge all of the staff that work here to make this possible, both the Premier's team through his department, but equally, many years ago, my wife worked here at the Brisbane Convention Exhibition Centre, so I want to thank all of the team who make this event possible behind the scenes as well. The Australian of the Year Awards tell our national story, and as you've just seen on this stage, what great stories we have to tell. They're also essential for bringing Australians together. They're essential because they give us that hope and optimism for a brighter future. And we've seen that in the comments we've seen tonight. Ian Gay talks to us about a really simple goal. What can he do with this award? He just wants to get more people volunteering. That theme continued with Cheryl Harris, who talked about this simple idea. If you can help others, that's exactly what you do. And then, I loved it even more, she gave us some homework. We have to go and do something kind tomorrow. She said, and it's not that hard, just give someone a smile as you're walking past them in the street. So we've all got homework when we walk out the door in just a few moments' time. Jarub Branfield Bradshaw talked about loving what he did. Said, quote, fell in love with the job in a week. And I think that's something that also unites everyone in this room, whatever you do. It's people who absolutely love it and therefore give their all to it. And then Ralph Gomes, better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. But then spoke of his love of people in regional Australia and that's what drives him. Genuine love for fellow Australians. And again, if I think what brings us all together through these awards is that idea that you can always do a little bit more to demonstrate and show your love for your fellow Australians, and in that, show your love for this country, Australia. I look forward to welcoming all of the nominees to Canberra on the eve of Australia Day next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Gorman. Of course, none of this would happen without the support of federal, state and territory governments, as well as some dedicated sponsors who we would like to acknowledge.
We've already heard from category partners, the Departments of Health, Disability and Ageing, Home Affairs and the Australian Government Office for Youth.
We acknowledge broadcast partner, the ABC.
Yeah, go the ABC. Yeah. Thank you to media partner, Australian Community Media, who reach rural, regional and remote audiences around the country.
Thanks goes to accommodation partner, the Crown Plaza, Canberra.
And to cultural partner, the Australian National University, who produced those amazing trophies.
And thanks to exhibition partner, the National Museum of Australia.
And legal partner, Minter Ellison.
And last but certainly not least, we appreciate the continued support of the Queensland Government for administering the awards in Queensland in partnership with the National Australia Day Council.
Would you please join us in thanking all our partners for their vital ongoing support to make tonight what it is.
That brings us to the end of tonight's formal proceedings, and we didn't even see Cliff Richard, I'm sorry. He is outside somewhere. To all our 2026 nominees, I was hoping to bump into him. Please do remember that someone in your community thinks you're deserving of this acknowledgement and took the time to send in a nomination. And this shows that your work does not go unnoticed, so please keep going.
To everyone watching and listening, get involved and nominate someone who inspires you at australianoftheyear.org.au. and follow the nominate button. Nominations are open year-round, and if those stories tonight do not inspire you, I don't know what will. It's quite incredible to think about the people who have walked on this stage this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm sure there's someone you know in your community who is doing wonderful things, and you probably recognise them every day yourself and say, aren't they fantastic what they're doing? Well, maybe it's time to nominate them.
Yeah, shine a spotlight on their work. Don't forget to tune into the national announcement of the Australia Day awardees live on the ABC on the evening before Australia Day. Just like tonight, it is a beautiful and truly inspirational event. On behalf of everyone here tonight, I wish our nominees every success in their future endeavours and wish our recipients all the best in the next stage of the program as they represent Queensland. Go Queenslanders.
So that officially
on the national
ends.
Stage.
Oh yes, the formal proceedings. Dinner will be served very shortly, but right now, please welcome back to the stage Carlia Ferguson.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and one more huge round of applause for our nominees and recipients of the 2026 Queensland Australian of the Year Awards.